Why was it that Maul actually believed in the Jedi Chosen One prophecy? Greetings, acolytes, and welcome back to the archives. With Maul's final breath, he asked Obi-Wan if he was protecting the Chosen One on Tatooine. Kenobi confirms it before Maul proclaims his belief that the Chosen One will avenge them all, hoping that the boy must be destined to destroy the Empire, showing that he truly did believe in his final moments. Firstly, we know that Obi-Wan's belief was that Luke was the Chosen One instead of Anakin, but that this was misplaced, but we'll get to that in just a moment. But whether or not Maul believed that Luke was the Chosen One is inconsequential to our question. We are equally curious as to why Maul, of all people, believes in the Jedi Chosen One prophecy in the first place. It seems strange for a Sith to place any sort of stock in a Jedi savior figure, especially if that figure is foretold to be the one to destroy the Sith and to bring balance to the Force. So today, let's open a holocron and dive into why Maul actually believed in the Chosen One prophecy of the Jedi, and why a warrior of the dark side was comforted by such a thought upon his death, making Maul an exceptionally complex and interesting character. To address the interaction of Tatooine, Kenobi and Yoda stopped believing that Anakin was the Chosen One after Order 66. Yoda even suggested that the prophecy was misread, and Anakin was only the conduit of the Chosen One. Once he fell to the dark side, the Jedi refused to believe that Anakin could have been the Chosen One, and believed that the prophecy was false. They assumed that it instead foretold of Anakin's offspring in Luke. The two Jedi were so certain of this that they made steps in ensuring that Luke would one day rise up to be the one to challenge Vader and triumph over the Sith, believing that Luke was the real Chosen One. This would be why Obi-Wan claimed that he was indeed protecting the Chosen One on Tatooine. However, we all know that the two Jedi were actually incorrect, and that Anakin Skywalker was the Chosen One from the very beginning. At the end, Anakin would return to the light and fulfill his own prophecy in his final moments, liberating the galaxy and bringing balance to the Force by destroying Palpatine, and then apparently going on to master his own light and dark side in the aftermath, according of course to the Ahsoka series. But with that aside, let's get into the main question of our video. Why did Maul believe in the prophecy of the Chosen One? To answer, we have to go back to the very beginning. The Sith were well aware of the Jedi Chosen One prophecy. It was a prophecy as old as the Jedi Order itself, and since many Jedi fell and became Sith, they would bring this knowledge with them and enter it into many Sith holocrons. Because of this, the Jedi Chosen One was quite well known amongst the Sith Order, but even though they knew of it, not very many Sith believed in it, favoring their own prophecy of the Sith Ari. The Sith Chosen One, or the Sith Ari, was supposedly an ultimate being, one who was going to be the reincarnation of King Adis and one that would destroy and remake the Sith Order. But some Sith Lords, such as Darth Plagueis, did not believe in the Jedi or the Sith Chosen One prophecy at all. He even called it superstitious hogwash, and the idea of a savior figure would never appear. Plagueis was insulted by it. He believed they were created by mystics that placed too much stock in their own visions. However, it seems that both he and Palpatine would change their minds later in life. After the two participated in a ritual that would bring about the ultimate being, the Force rejected them and caused the ritual to backfire. Tired of the Sith's hubris, the Force itself decided to impregnate a humble slave woman with the Chosen One of the Jedi. 9 years would pass when Maul was still in training. Palpatine would hear from Master Dooku that the Jedi Council believed that they had found this Chosen One. While Dooku thought that this was laughable, Sidious's blood turned to ice. He immediately went and informed his master Plagueis, who had lost his nerve, believing that the Sith were now undone and the Jedi Chosen One was before them. Darth Plagueis panicked. It can be firmly stated that the Sith by this point learned to believe in the Jedi Chosen One prophecy, and Plagueis believed that he and Sidious had a hand in bringing it to pass. Maul too had learned of the Jedi Chosen One prophecy after 20 years of relentless training against combat droids and studying the ways of the Jedi. He needed to know the enemy inside and out, and no doubt he learned of the prophecy through these studies. However, Maul would not have known about Anakin at the time of his mission to Tatooine. At that moment, he was hunting down Queen Amidala and had no idea that he nearly ran over the Jedi Chosen One with his speeder bike. It's not told to us anywhere that Sidious told Maul about Anakin before his supposed death on Naboo in Legends or canon, but we do believe it's unlikely. Maul was not a real apprentice to Sidious, he was merely a tool. Therefore, he was on a need-to-know basis, unlike Dooku. If we had to triangulate a point where Maul actually finds out about Anakin, we would say it would have happened very shortly after his return to the galaxy in the Clone War. He caught up on the goings-on of the Clone Wars, and would have undoubtedly taught him about the invincible duo of Kenobi and Skywalker, both who were all over the HoloNet. Now Anakin being the chosen one was kept under wraps from the public. Even most of the Jedi Order didn't know, as the Council wanted to keep it a secret. But towards the end of the Clone Wars, Maul would sense that Anakin was supposed to be the chosen one based off of his visions of the coming Empire, and Maul's visions of Order 66 and his master's rise. The dark side gave Maul a vision that confirmed to him that Anakin was the key to everything. This is confirmed in the conversation with Ahsoka, when he said that he saw at the vision that Anakin was the key. Ahsoka asks if he means to bring balance to the Force, but Maul corrects her and says, to destroy. It was his plan to kill Anakin to spite both Sidious and Obi-Wan, and then to kill Kenobi after. But it was because of his visions that Maul believed in the prophecy. The Force revealed to Maul that Anakin was the key, and that Anakin was about to reshape the galaxy. But it appears as if Maul had the same thought process as Yoda and Obi-Wan did. Once Anakin fell, or perhaps the moment would happen when he met Ben in the desert of Tatooine. Through the Force, Maul ascertained that Obi-Wan's intentions was protecting something or someone on the desolate world. Many underestimate how much a trained Force sensitive is able to gather through insight when they truly reach out through the Force, and especially in that moment when Obi-Wan's emotions were heightened by the danger of Maul. He inadvertently betrayed himself by making it easier for Maul to pick up on the urgency of Obi-Wan's mission, and as soon as Maul picked out that it was someone, Obi-Wan would drop all pretense and immediately stood on business, igniting his lightsaber with the full intent to end Maul right then and there. This would translate through the Force to Maul, whose mind would immediately begin linking all the possibilities of Obi-Wan's mission on Tatooine. Once it was said and done, Maul opened himself up fully to the Force, desperately grasping for some kind of hope in his last moment. We believe that Maul's faith in the prophecy was not one born from upbringing or his own deduction, but instead, Maul had failed time and time again to get revenge on the people who hurt him the most, specifically Sidious. Maul no longer called himself a Sith, nor did he ally with the Sith Order. He wanted nothing more than to destroy Sidious and shove his face in it. But once he failed to even kill his old rival, Maul realized that he was never going to get the justice done that he wanted. The despicable monster who ruined his life from birth would continue to reign. Maul desperately needed to believe that someone could avenge him, but not just him in that moment. Maul recognized that he wasn't the only one whose life has been decimated by Sidious, his own rival, who was now clutching his dying body in his arms. Kenobi's life had been ruined by the Dark Lord as well, and here, Maul had more in common with the Jedi than he had in his entire life. They had all been betrayed, and they all deserved their vengeance. This should come in the Jedi's own chosen one, since he no longer could be Anakin. Surely, whoever Kenobi had decided to protect was this chosen one. In our opinion, Maul's belief was one born of a pitiful need to at least have some sort of peace when he died, knowing that he would never see his revenge and his vengeance. But anyway, my friends, this is tragic, but we must know, what do you think about this? What are your thoughts on Maul actually believing in the Chosen One prophecy, and believing Luke would destroy the Sith and bring balance to the Force? As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching and visiting the archives today, and may the Force be with you.